Okay, we have an activity here. What happens when you don't neuter your cat? Okay, so we look at here, we got 1 year, and at the end of 1 year, you'll have 20 cats. Into 2 years, you have 200 cats. At the end of 3 years, you'd have 2,000 cats. And at the end of 4 years, you'd have 20,000 cats. Wow, man, that's a lot of cats. So how did we come up with those numbers? Can you do the math that's associated with this population increase over a 4-year period of time? Here's the math. Year 1, we have 1 female cat. She can have 3 litters. If we say that each litter could have 6 kittens associated with it, that would be a total of 18 kittens that would be produced in the first year. Now, it takes 2 cats to make a pregnancy. So we have a male and a female. So we have 2 adult cats and 18 kittens. That would give us a total number of felines of 20. Now, we know that this litter is not going to be all female cats. And there's a 50% probability of it being male or female. So of the total felines that are there, 10 are females. Let's go to the next year. The next year, we have 10 females that are now having 3 litters a year and 6 kittens. We end up with 180 kittens. Plus, we also have 20 adult cats plus 180 kittens equals a total of 200 felines in the second year. Now, of those 200 felines, half of them will be male and half will be female, so we have 100 females. We go into the next year. In the third year, we have 100 females times 3 litters times 6 cats. And you can see by doing the simple math of multiplication and addition, you end up with 1,000 females at the end of the third year. Year 4, those 1,000 females will end up producing 20,000 total females in that year, at the end of year 4. One of the ways in which we learn about this in population, looking at populations, is there's lots of ways we can look at it. We can look at diagrams, and we have a diagram that's coming up. And I think one of the things that we can do is you can use and do this in a lot of different populations. So here's the cat population growth over a 4-year period of time. You can see the cats going from year 1 all the way to year 4. We started with 20 cats at the end of the first year, and we ended up with a population growth of 20,000 cats. Well, an interesting way to look in population dynamics is to look back. How many kittens did the first 2 cats produce? And the first 2 cats produced 45 kittens over the 4-year period of time. She continued to have babies. So 3 litters times 6 kittens times 4 years ends up being 45 kittens. You can see that that population exploded to 19,998 more cats. I think that's really important to understand this, that we start with a small, insignificant number. You want your kittens and dogs to have a litter. And you can see if we do not step in with spaying and neutering animals, this population can explode in just a 4-year period of time. Now, let's take it to the dog scenario, okay? Now, dog and cat fertility rates are different. The average number of litters of a fertile cat can produce is 3, okay? And that's going to be different than that of a dog. The dog only can have 2 heat cycles, so 2 litters a year. But the average number of puppies that a canine will have is 8 puppies. in the 1 year, that makes 16 new puppies that can be produced. So what would it be in 4 years? Let's take a few minutes and let you work through that math problem. Using a litter size of 8 puppies, and each female dog can have 2 litters per year, let's work and let's calculate out how it goes year by year through 4 years. One of the things that we worry about is the overpopulation of animals. The spaying and neutering of cats and dogs is a very important part. It's a part of responsible ownership. It decreases the disease presence in your animals. It decreases the ability, the disease possibilities in your animals by decreasing some of the behaviors that increases the disease risk. It decreases the behavioral issues associated with the aggressive male dog, for example. But the main important thing is it decreases the number of overpopulation in our pets in the United States. I want to take this time to thank you for learning with me during this lecture series. This lecture series on spaying and neutering is a very important part when we start looking at the disease processes, the behavioral issues, and the overpopulation of the pets in the United States. This lecture series is brought to you by the Partnership for Environmental Education and Rural Health, and this is part of the Doctor's Black Bag lecture series. Thank you.